you have an unhealthy obsession with shells and boats.
Well, I barely know that bitch, okay? And she's been down on everything but the Titanic. She spreads like cream cheese for Sheldon.
What about the rumors that you're mentally imbalanced?
Who the fuck said that?
Showtime!
Welcome to the party, pal.
Say hello to my little friend! Here's Johnny. Who's the best?
Put that cookie down. What's in the box?
Oh, I'm sorry. Did I break your concentration?
This is Video Store Clerks. Welcome to the store.
Hello, beautiful YouTube land. We are your Video Store Clerks. I am Chad Mang.
I am Rainbow Mike tonight.
Chuckles McNasty right here coming at you.
Hey, how we doing? It is Tuesday, and I don't know what the fuck that was when my phone.
What was that?
Someone selling
That
some
threw the
shit.
fuck off.
But anyway, it is Tuesday. It is Death to Smoochy night. Talking about this 2002 underrated film directed by Danny DeVito, starring Edward Norton, Robin Williams, Danny DeVito, and the fourth male lead, Jon Stewart.
Oh, yeah.
But we will dive into that here after the news.
Let's now take a look at that satellite tape taken from earlier today. We can take a look at the cloud cover across much of the nation.
Hey. Smoke if you got them.
That was interesting. All right. How you find gents doing this evening? Doing all right?
Hell yeah.
Well, let's start off the news, as we always do, with the top 10 films in the box office. Number 10 being Shava. First week out, did $1.7 million. It
What
seems
is that
to appear to be a India drama action film based on, I'm going to fuck this name completely sideways. Okay, here we go. Chhatrapati Sambhaji Maharaj, who is the son of Chhatrapati Shivaji Maharaj.
Just give up.
Anyway, it looks kind of like
we look worse and worse every time you draw.
oh, I mean that murdered me right there. That was fucking whatever, but
That's pretty.
it doesn't look bad actually. It looks kind of like a gladiator type feel, like a 300 Spartan type kind of feel to it. Doesn't look too shabby. But it did 1.7 mil again this week. Number 9 being Companion. It did 1.8 million this week, bringing in $18.7 million in the last 3 weeks. And number 8, One of Them Days, $3 million this week, bringing in 43.5 the last 3 weeks. Or no, wait, what was that? 4 weeks. No, it was a lot longer than that. I fucked that all up. Don't worry about me. I'm all right. Number 7, Mufasa. It did 4.1 mil this week, bringing in 241 million in the last 9 weeks. Looks like it's slowly but surely getting lower and lower. Number 6, Love Hurts, did 4.2 million this week, bringing in 12.1 mil in the last 2 weeks. And number 5, Niza 2. First week out, did $7.1 million. Kid film, animated.
What was it called again?
Niza 2. It's part 2.
Oh,
So it's a sequel to Niza.
so Niza 2.
Okay, see, you said that. I was like, it just sounds like somebody who can't pronounce Nosferatu.
It's Nosferatu's
Mustache got in my way.
illegitimate child, Nisatu.
Number 4, Dogman. The 9.8 this week.
This is for my dogs.
Doing 66.9 in the last 3 weeks. I'm stuck on the number 3 tonight. Number 3, Heart Eyes. Did 9.8 mil this week, bringing in 21.3 the last 2 weeks.
Not bad.
And
movie.
number 2, Paddington in Peru. First week out, brought in $13 million.
What is it?
Paddington, the bear movie. The new
Oh,
one.
that's what I thought.
Goes to
Okay.
Peru.
He's in Peru.
Yes.
He went to Machu Picchu.
Paddington in Peru.
Is he got a drug habit now? Is that why is he in Peru?
It's not Ted.
Wrong bear.
And the number 1 movie in the box office, I'm sure we all know what it is. Marvel put one back on the charts.
Yeah.
Captain America, Brave New World, first week out, $87.8 million. Because it's a brave new world.
Somebody said that that wasn't too bad. I don't know if I believe him or not.
I honestly haven't seen shit about it. I've been kind of staying clear from that shit. At one point, I might watch it, but
I mean, I'll never watch it. I mean, I haven't seen most of the Marvel movies. I've seen like 2, I think. Dax actually went to the theater with his stepbrothers and saw it. He said it was all right. He said it was decent. He's not big into comic book stuff, but he thought it was all right.
I don't know. I'll probably see it at some point, but right now, I'm over it.
I got too many movies from the 70s and 80s that I need to get back to watching.
The only thing it really has going for it is Harrison Ford's the Red Hawk. Spoiler.
What?
Yep.
I did not. Okay.
True story.
All right then.
True story. Before we get on to any other news, we'd like to say a happy birthday to John Travolta turning 71, Matt Dillon turning 61, and Sybil Shepherd turning 75 years young. Bless them all. Legends.
It's funny because I had just seen somebody post "Happy Birthday, John Travolta" and had a picture of Nicolas Cage from Face Off.
That's funny.
That is pretty funny.
Want to take his face off. Not much going on in the actual news this week, but apparently the film The Monkey that it came out that apparently isn't doing any good since it's not in the top 10 is actually being played in churches. Don't know.
The monkey is?
Yep.
The monkey. Why?
I don't know. I don't know if like the Osmond Perkins is kind of on the Christian side of things or what. I don't have any.
Is it a cautionary thing? Is this? I
don't know.
That's weird. That's strange.
Just don't have any clapping monkey statues in the fucking church, I guess. I don't know.
I mean,
Be careful
Stephen
what
King
you wish
said,
for.
Stephen King said it was pretty messed up, so I can't imagine churches.
I mean,
playing
yeah.
I was really surprised it wasn't anywhere on the top 10. Like, I don't know how it's doing. Like, I haven't really read any reviews on that either. I try to stay away from reviews these days and then just watch the shit to see what I think.
Yeah.
But
How bizarre!
I don't know.
Weird.
Constantine 2 will be getting an R rating this time around,
Cool.
making it a little darker and a tidbit more scarier.
Good.
So it just pushed it over the 13 threshold.
Great.
Hey, I like the
hope it's
first
good.
one. And the series was dope. The
Never saw the
animated
series.
movies are dope.
Never watched any of those either.
Oh, they're so good.
Comics
It
are
has
cool.
it's the same guy in the animated movies that they put out recently is the guy that played Constantine in the CW series. And he fucking kills it. Like, why that show never got another season, I don't know. Because everything else got like 30.
Yeah.
And to me, that was the better series on the CW for all the comic book shows.
I'll have to go back and check that out then.
Dave Bautista is calling for the help of fans.
Oh, really?
He wants to play the role of Marcus Phoenix in the Gears of War video game film adaptation.
I don't care.
But I think he's going to have to put back on some of that muscle.
Yeah, I saw a picture. It was a side by side of how he used to look and how he looks now, and it's like, dude, somebody give him roids.
All he's been doing, he said, is eating vegetables and doing a lot of cardio because he's trying to slim down so he doesn't get typecasted as The Rock.
Too late.
Yeah, dude, you're a wrestler that's going into acting. What do you want to do?
Right.
What do you think?
He just wants to
Is it
try to
action
bring his
movies or
body
horror
size.
films?
I mean, I get why he's doing it. Like, he wants his body
do
size
too.
to be smaller to get other roles, but he's
Yeah,
already
but-
done
But
too much.
nobody's ever going to look at him like that. He's not a professional actor. You know, it's like
Yeah.
that's why they bring these guys in is because of their physiques. You know, that's what brought them to the dance.
Right.
You know, if you think you're a big time actor now, just because you have some roles that got a little bit of traction, doesn't mean you're ready for Othello.
No. Like, I think he's doing pretty decent, though. Like, he's doing good acting wise. Just the stuff that he's been landing besides, like, Guardians, I'm just not into that kind of shit.
I mean, if anything, it was what was that one? Knock at the Cabin.
Yeah.
Like they tried to kind of showcase his acting ability, and I don't know, it didn't impress me at all. So
I couldn't even finish watching the movie. I just was, well, but I haven't heard anybody like it either. So
I don't have any hate towards Batista.
no, not towards Batista per se.
Seems to be a pretty stand-up guy. Has his head on straight.
Yeah, I respect
Watched a few videos on YouTube yesterday with him about like his house and shit. His house is fucking dope. Kind of reminds me of my house. Just my house is way smaller. My house could fit into like his kitchen.
Some of them wrestlers, man, they be living good. That's for damn sure.
Yeah, I mean, he's doing it, so let him do it.
Oh yeah.
Finally, last bit of news. Sam Raimi returns on the horror scene with his new film coming out called Send Help, his new zombie film. Coming out January 30th, 2026. So let's get Sam back into the genre of horror. I think the last thing he ever did horror-wise was Drag Me to Hell, and that was, what, 2002?
Something like that.
Or no, I think it was later. I don't remember when. But ever since then, he's been in the comic book world.
Yep.
So he's going back to the roots, because you can't forget your roots.
what's it supposed to be about? Do we have any kind of synopsis or any idea?
No, I saw a few stills. I didn't see anything else, and it was just basically just looked like a zombie film.
Zombie.
See, that's kind of a turn off. I mean, like, you know, I like Raimi and everything, so like I'll check out whatever he puts out. But you know, when it comes to horror, but so fucking tired of zombie movies.
Done with zombies. Done with possessions.
I am, but I'm not done with Sam.
Done with
No,
vampires.
like
Sam,
not
quit
done with
canceling the
vampires.
goddamn cons.
You're not done with vampires.
no, I think
This is the movie of he was probably doing whenever he got canceled from Steel City the last time we were going to go see him.
That's been a while.
Yeah. So I'm assuming this might be the one that he was finishing up on.
Done with it. Done with werewolves.
nope. I'm glad werewolves and vampires are kind of making a comeback.
We need
'Cause,
something
like,
fresh.
it's like good ones. Well, yeah, I need something
we need-
fresh, but
Fresh.
but
Lions
I'm
and
not
tigers
done.
and
I'm
bears.
not done with that genre. Like, I think there's some good ones coming out. So I mean,
I want to see an extreme horror adaptation of the Chronicles of Narnia.
whoa. There's no.
That
What
shit
about
could get
this? What about this? Okay, so werewolves, right? They can only turn during the full moon, so that's only like once a month, right? So what you do is you have astronauts go to the moon, and one of them gets bit by something on the moon, and since they're on the moon, werewolf all the time. Werewolves in space.
That's,
That's fascinating.
But wouldn't they just be wolves then, since they're always in wolf form? Blew out Chuck's earball. But anyway, that's the end of the news. So let's jump in
My God.
to the Danny DeVito, Edward Norton, Robin Williams, Jon Stewart. I forget the chick's name because it always
Catherine Keener. Come on
That's
now,
the
pal.
one. That's the one.
That's the one.
Dude, I haven't seen this movie in so long.
Yeah,
And
me
I
either.
watched it 3 times in the last 2 weeks, I think, since Mike mentioned that that's what he was going to be doing.
Yes, yes.
I don't know how this shit didn't get any love when it was in the box office, man. Like,
Yeah.
this shit is so underrated.
I have my theories, and it goes along. This is one of the most underrated movies out there. We've talked about some very underrated films before, but this one I think it is up there because not only did you look at this and the budget was $50 million budget, and it only made just over $8 million at the box office. Bomb! It bombed bad. And what could have done that? Not only that, did Roger Ebert name this the worst movie of the year? The worst of 2002. Can you believe that? You know how many films came out in 2002? We're talking you're competing with Joanna Man. You're competing with Mr. Deeds. You're competing with The Hot Chick, The New Guy, Crossroads, Kung Pao, Enter the Fist, Adventures of Pluto Nash.
I know Kung Pao's dope.
Swim Fan, Halloween Resurrection. All right. And somehow this is the bottom of the barrel. Get out of here.
Entertainment, like entertainment.
I don't know what just was said.
I said it sounds like this was the only movie that came out at that time that was worth a shit.
No, there's plenty of other films that were much better. I'm not saying this is the top film of the year, but when you look at everything that came out in 2002, and Roger Ebert is saying that's at the very bottom, like this is the worst. That's insane. Roger Ebert had to have some kind of heat with somebody. Maybe DeVito, fucked his mom. I don't know, but he was pissed and didn't like this film for some reason. I don't know, but it's
that fucker didn't like anything that was good. That's how I knew what to watch. Like
right?
I would watch their fucking reviews and go, "Oh, he hates that. I must watch it."
Yeah, but I mean, you could always take the reviews with a grain of salt. So it's like, but like to flat out say this is the worst film of the year, that's a pretty bold statement. And especially when you got freaking master actors, Ed Norton, Robin Williams in this thing, just spearheading it, and they do an amazing job. Like we're going to get deeper into it, but I just can't believe the hate that it got whenever it opened up. And we've talked about other films. It might have just been timing, especially with the actors, because when you look at it, you've got Ed Norton, and Ed Norton, this is 2002. So you've just gone through like Primal Fear. You've gone through Larry Flint. You've gone through American History X, Rounders, Fight Club. So you get to this role as Sheldon Mopes, Smoochy the Rhino, and your typical Ed Norton fan is probably going, what the hell is this? Because this is, I mean, up until then and ever since then, you've never seen Ed Norton in a role like this. And it was completely different. And the same thing, I think, kind of goes hand in hand with Robin Williams. Because if you look at Robin Williams around that time, he's doing, he did Birdcage, he did Good Will Hunting, What Dreams May Come, Patch Adams, all these kind of family-friendly type films or, lighthearted comedy stuff. And now he's just like a very neurotic, crazy freaking kids TV show host that's, spewing profanities and waving guns and, acting very uncharacteristic of a Robin Williams character. So when you take that factor where you like, you kind of flip-flop who they've been in previous films. And especially when you have Robin Williams and Ed Norton, who people have come to love, they've watched, a lot of people, so many people were introduced to Ed Norton through Fight Club. That was like his breakout thing, even though, he's had a few decent roles before then, but that was the one that kind of put him mainstream. And when you look at American History X,
I was going to say American History X,
you could argue with either one, but whenever you say, "Oh, I love Ed Norton," I fucking watch those movies. He's this edgy character, and now all of a sudden he's this very, goofy rhino character. You're just like, what the hell is this? So we've talked about it before. Maybe it's just timing, where people were expecting something from the actors based on past performance and got something completely different. But other than that, I don't know, because everything looks good. It's not low budget. It's got great actors. It's got a good story. So, if you hate this film, drop a comment and let me know why, because I think it's great.
But what year did Barney come out? Like 94?
Oh, somewhere in there. I wasn't a Barney guy. I was past my time.
But I got stuck watching that in Blue's Clues all the time because of my sister's kids whenever I'd watch them.
Barney and Friends
not so much Barney, but
TV show started in 1992, so we're 10 years into Barney here.
Because I know he mentions Barney.
Yeah, I was gonna say, he makes a really kind of funny comment. I was still trying to figure out what it is he says.
So whenever he's fucking smashing the TV, whereas that we'll get there. We'll get there. Yeah. we got time to think about it because that's down on the road. Like that's about 3/4 in the film.
Bastard son of Barney.
Yeah. But this shit coming out is pretty good though, because like you got Williams being like the head kid, fucking TV guy with his Rainbow Randolph. And then also he's a shady fuck on the side trying to get some extra money. So he's like selling spots for kids to parents. So he's getting all this extra bank, and then he gets set up by like the FBI or whatever.
Yep.
And then they're like, we'll try to get our son in the front row, and he's like, this is my show. Like, hopefully a fucking spot opens, and he tries to dip out on him.
I'll let you know when it's
busted and arrested. So his fucking TV career is ghost.
Yep. Rainbow Randolph gets canceled. His fall from grace.
His life went to shambles with the quickness. Like he even says he's fucking kicked out of the fucking suite for the studio. He's fucking broke. He ain't got no money. He's just fucking out on his ass.
That's right. But now they got a spot. Kidnet needs a hero. They need somebody squeaky fucking clean. They're asking John. Yep. They're asking Jon Stewart, you got to bring in somebody that's above board because we got too much heat on us. We need somebody that's straight-laced, who's squeaky clean. And, of course, they come up with Sheldon Mopes. Ed Norton.
Fucking Smoochy.
Smoochy the Rhino. Playing methadone clinics.
Yeah. They find him playing to a bunch of drugged-out methadone, fucking heroin and crack. And the songs he sings are fucking great.
Yeah,
dude, all these songs. It starts off with that "Friends Come in All Sizes" song where Rainbow Randolph's floating around and doing all kinds of crazy crap, and it's like every musical number is very comedic in this film, and I get a kick out of them, and some of them are stuck in my head still. So,
right,
but the music they do a great job of making it entertaining and fitting the story as well.
Yeah, like because coming out, the female producer is trying to hunt down the new guy, so she goes over there, sees him playing in the drug house or whatever, and then they go get Nathan's hot dogs, but he talks the fucking vendor into making vegan hot dogs.
Yeah,
soy. Then he some soy hot dogs. Then he puts some nasty green shit on there. That is, what the fuck is it? Spirulina and almond butter. Which Edward Norton actually made in his hotel room to put on the burgers, and like he takes a bite and his fucking teeth are all green. That shit cracks me up. And then she doesn't realize how pure this guy really is. Like he wants to do everything for the kids. Everything's vegan based, fucking no sugar, fucking pure vegetable and fruit smoothies. He doesn't want anything to do with any kind of fucking like funds or get paid or skim or anything. Like he's just a pure guy trying to do whatever he can for the kids.
Yeah, you get. Go ahead.
You feel really bad for this guy in this movie because he really is trying to do good in a world of shit, and he just keeps getting like knocked down, man.
Right. It's like he's from a whole different world. Like he's from a world that doesn't exist. Like he's not from our reality.
Yeah.
Like he looks past all the drama and all the hatred and the wrong in the world and just does good. Which I guess if everybody did that, the world would be a little better place, but it'd be kind of boring.
Well, you can't change the world, but you can make a dent.
Right.
And that's his motto. I mean, and we see that like right out the gate. You see what type of person Sheldon is because he doesn't even know Catherine Keener's character is there for him. He has no idea that she's scouting him out. And she's just standing there watching him perform. He's got the old busted costume and everything like that. And he's playing in front of a handful of these drug addicts that are trying to recover. And half of them are passed out. But he's singing along and he's like including them and everything, talking to him and everything like that. You could tell that this guy has heart. You know, he's not just like some scumbag like Randolph or any of the other characters we see throughout the film. But yeah, you get a peek into Sheldon Mopes and the character that he is right there before she even Nora Wells introduces herself and says, "Hey, Kidnet's looking for somebody, and you're the guy."
That's the funny part. 'Cause he's wearing fucking like kickboxing pads.
Yeah. Very low budget, but you know, when you're not getting paid much at a methadone clinic.
No, and they're all banged up and cracked and shit.
Yeah.
He just looks like he's fucking like a strung out fucking guy just in there trying to make $1 to get some more H.
Yep.
This was actually I've only watched this movie one other time. It was when it was first released on video, like on home video. Like, and honestly, I didn't like it when I first saw it. That's why I
Really?
watched it. Yeah,
Well, okay. Do you remember why you didn't like it?
I thought it was stupid. Because at the time, I did not care about comedies.
Okay.
And yeah, it was kind of, I got so used to Edward Norton being like a different role, you know, like you were saying earlier, like other roles like American History X, Fight Club, and all that shit.
Yeah. Edgy characters.
Yeah, and this just, I don't know, it was just too goofy for me at the time. Now, you know, I enjoyed it now, but yeah, I don't know. I don't know. It was just too weird at the time for me.
Maybe that's why I didn't do well, because it was just such a different film that they were in. Because like you said, like at the time, like Williams did like Patch Adams and shit. When did that 12-hour photo or whatever come out?
I think it came out right around this time. It was 1 hour photo. And it almost feels like Robin Williams was kind of experimenting with these darker films. You know, he's doing Death to Smoochy and then 1 hour photo and Insomnia with Al Pacino.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's
So he's going in a different direction from all these other films as well. So
his transitional piece.
Yeah, he's kind of experimenting, you know, seeing what, you know, he's capable of. And he's, you know, even this, you know, even though he plays this despicable character in this film, he's so over the top and so comedic, like the whole time. Like it's just like you take Robin Williams and you crank him up to 13. All right, we're skipping past 11 and 12. We're going straight to 13 with Robin Williams.
So I guess at one time Jim Carrey was supposed to play Rainbow.
I think so. Yeah, they talked about
he did Majestic instead.
He was considered for that role. And I think didn't they want Ed Norton for Rainbow Randolph? And he said they said that they wanted him for Randolph, and he said he was more interested in the Smoochy part, which that makes sense because, like we said, you know, for a character like Ed Norton to be, you know, kind of psychotic, sadistic, like Rainbow Randolph, kind of off his meds type deal. Right. You could see him playing that role.
Yeah, like it's almost like they were both trying to just change completely what they were doing previous and play the opposite spots.
Yeah. And I know Robin Williams wanted to work with Danny DeVito, and I think this was the only time they actually got to.
Yeah, this was Danny DeVito's second directing piece.
I don't think so. No, he directed more stuff beforehand. Because he had done the last one he had done before this was Matilda in '96.
Yeah. Oh yeah, and before that was Throw Mama from the Train, right?
Yeah, he had a few films under his belt already, but you know, this was another thing for DeVito where you know he was kind of in a lull as well. If you go and look at his filmography around that time, he didn't really have a lot going on. And like I said, the last thing he directed in '96 was Matilda. So he was kind of itching and for something else, something different. And this script comes across his desk. I think it was written by let me see here, Adam Resnick, who also wrote Cabin Boy. I see, but there you go. But this comes across his desk, and I think it's a great story. It's the dark, seedy underbelly of kids TV, which now is even more prevalent. Based off of the documentaries we've seen. This isn't dealing with any kind of shady stuff that's going on with the kids directly. This is all the adults and the crime and the corruption that there is in this TV world. So, but still relevant to this day.
Yeah, it's like the Blues Clues guy getting fucking arrested for all those drugs and shit. So I mean, just goes to show you that, like way back in the day, like the first Blues Clues guy or whatever.
Oh, the original guy or whatever.
A bunch of drugs.
Wow.
So I mean, it just shows like the stars of the kids shows aren't as pure as people hope they are.
Yeah,
they have their demons too.
Yeah,
I mean, let's go look at Barney.
I mean, and that's in so many different places you've seen that. How many people thought Bob Saget was clean and wholesome, and watching Full House, and then all of a sudden you see him doing a stand up, and you're like, whoa, this is a different side of Bob Saget. Yeah, Chuck has his opinion.
Yeah.
Fuck
Bob Saget. I mean, rest in peace. I do like the idea of it being kind of like, because there's not really any other movie that I can think of that like kind of shows us a weird, like, I don't know, city underbelly of children's TV like this. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like you were saying, it's relevant and all that stuff. I mean, yeah, no, it doesn't deal with the shit that we know is going on. That's been a big thing here the last couple of years, but it does show that the people behind their characters aren't always what they seem.
No.
And, I'm also sitting there trying to figure out why my younger self didn't like this movie that much at all.
What do you think about it now?
Oh, now I actually, I was actually really excited to watch it because I was like, man, I do feel like I'm going to enjoy this time, and I did. I think the characters in it are great. I mean, they're all like kind of unique in their own way. Robin Williams playing, pretty much, if he was playing and falling down, you know what I mean? Like he's just losing his fucking mind, and his obsession towards ruining this really wholesome good dude.
He's hellbent.
He's hellbent. Yeah.
I'm going on safari, motherfucker.
Yeah. I think that was a big deal for a lot of people. Actually, I know it was. I know a lot of people. I remember when this came out didn't like it because of Robin Williams going back to always playing kind of more wholesome roles and all that all that shit. And then in this one, for most of the movie, he's kind of a piece of shit, and he says fuck a lot, and you didn't really see him saying fuck in movies much at all. So yeah, but I like that. I like the and actually that was something I was thinking about last night. I was like, Robin Williams is one of those actors that when you watch a movie, you kind of almost like for a minute you forget they're dead.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. And because actually, like only I watched Mrs. Doubtfire like last year, right? It's like the first Robin Williams movie that I watched since he died. Like it's been hard because he's one of those actors, one of those comedians that we always laughed at. We always had a great time. We knew if Robin Williams was in it, we were going to probably have a great time watching it, most likely. Right. And like, I don't know, just watching this movie though, like it's the beauty of cinema. You watch it and you're like, oh, and like for a split second you forget that he's gone, and then what's worse, it was when the realization hits, like, oh yeah, there's Robin's gone, and it's even sadder of why he's gone, and it just, I don't know. There's some emotions with this movie that weren't there back when it was originally out. Now,
I agree, because I was getting ready to say before you even said that, like, you're in my fucking head, was like, as watching this, like, I was laughing, and then I became kind of sad because I'm like, fuck, man, I miss Robin Williams.
Yeah, man.
I was like, he was a fucking comedic genius.
He was.
Not only that,
fucking dude, he could act circles around half these clowns today.
Yeah, he was just a natural talent. And not only that, you can see, in my mind, I see the parallels between him and Sheldon Mopes. Like, we talk about how pure Sheldon Mopes is. If you go back and look at Robin Williams, where he's doing a movie or a TV or an interview, he was just always this wholesome guy. Like, I don't think anybody could ever say a bad thing about him that I know of. Just super nice. I mean, he would had it in his contract. Anytime he did a film, that the studio had to hire a certain amount of homeless people. That was his requirement. Where you get other actors who are like, oh, I have to have this fancy trailer and all this nonsense, and he's out here like trying to help people that are unfortunate. So it's like this guy always had a good heart and a good head. And like you said, he's just a comedic genius. Like he could just turn it on just like that. And I feel like, when I'm watching him perform as Rainbow Randolph, it almost seems like natural. Like these aren't even lines. It's just Robin Williams just going off and having fun with the character.
Mm-hmm. Right. Agreed. I mean, even watching him in interviews, he's on talk shows or a good example of like, I mean, he's about him turning it off and on like that. I mean, he was just the greatest at it. Famous clip that I actually watched earlier today, because it was on my feed, was when Jack Nicholson was too stoned to talk, accepting an award. So he had Robin come up on stage to accept the award for him, and it ended up being this fucking shit show, like this hilarious bit that was improvised, because Robin comes up there and just he makes the stage his own, and that was the beauty of that, man. He had a complete talent and one hell of a craft at words, puns, punchlines, everything. He was great. Man, he was one of the best.
Yeah, doing all kinds of goofy voices, characters. He could just anything, and you see it in this film. He changes all of his voices. He's like, he's playing that goofy character that tricks Sheldon into thinking that he's going to perform for kids,
like
and he's
German guy or whatever.
Yeah. Oh, just say it. He's a lousy piece of shit. Whatever.
The Irish guy.
Yeah,
that's what it was.
Yeah,
that shit had me cracking up.
Yeah, and speaking of sidebar, speaking of Jack Nicholson making a rare appearance this past weekend at Saturday Night Live 50th anniversary. Yeah, good to see Jack back out, man. Oh man, I was getting worried there for a minute because it was just like, he's a recluse. He's just gonna fucking crawl in his hole and die type thing. Everybody kept saying, oh, he's in terrible health and all this and that. But
his mind's not doing good. But it's good to see him. I think his daughter kind of helps him get out and about more, from what I've seen.
Yeah. And he was walking around, whenever some of the autograph guys were getting him up in New York, he was walking around with a cane. So, not, very, frail kind of looking, as far as, being able to stand up or whatever. But, just to see him out and about is a good thing in my mind,
Right. Yeah. Definitely. I mean, he's lived a crazy, crazy fueled life.
If you could have had a camera strapped to Jack Nicholson for his whole life, like the Truman Show, holy shit,
he would go to jail.
It'd be not rated.
Besides that,
sure.
Besides that,
yeah.
There'd be a lot.
But you know what though, he still seems like he's he's the Buddha of showbiz, as Robin Williams called him on that clip earlier, and he's still looking like a badass no matter what's going on with him. So.
Well, Jackie boy,
always one of the best. Boy. But anyway,
yeah. Back to Smoochy. I thought what was good too about this part, like Danny DeVito's role. Like as soon as you see this fucking dude, he's a weasel.
Yep.
Oh yeah.
He's an agent.
Just the mustache alone showed him weasel.
Burke Bennett.
but he's so fucking good. Like,
Yeah.
he fucking, like, as soon as you see him, fucking Edward Norton's having his glass of orange juice at the bar. And then the fucking bartender's like, I've never seen anybody get a buzz on orange juice. He's like, it's just liquid alfalfa. Make you zing right to whatever he says. And then fucking DeVito plops down and he gets a fucking, like a vodka tonic or whatever. And then they go talk and then he ends up being his agent. But one thing that always cracked me up in that, whenever he's like, you could piss on 100 just to see the reaction on Franklin's face. And he's like, I would never do that. I have too much respect for what the man's done. That shit cracked me up.
So
Like,
many
that just shows you
clever
like, how
lines.
much of a dick DeVito is and how pure fucking Norton is.
Yeah.
Like, they're like fucking yin and yang. Like, they're just total opposites. That shit was so fucking funny. That shit had me cracking up every time I watched it.
Yeah, he's trying to weasel his way in as the agent, trying to help Sheldon get some kind of creative control, because he's being bossed around. Catherine Keener is kind of being a little
Just being kind of shitty.
I mean, you come to find out later too, like why? Because I mean, she dated Rainbow, and she dated the dude before that, and they all turned out to be just pieces of shit, trying to fuck over the kids, and she just think he's going to get there at some time too. Like whenever they have like the ice capade thing in the paper that fucking DeVito set him up for, and then she comes running in and throws the shit at him. Like from the jump though, like she's just straight giving him all kinds of shit. Like he wants to talk about some kind of creative shit because he got kicked out of the meeting. And then she's on the phone and she's like, hey, can I call you back? I got some asshole screaming at me. And he's like, what the fuck? She's like, I'm standing here. She's like, yeah, we can change that real quick.
Yeah, you can tell she's very embittered and kind of cold to the business. Spending so many years, she's been around long enough to see how all these guys are scumbags, in one way or another. And so, she doesn't buy it. She thinks it's all an act, that Sheldon's just, she's waiting for the other shoe to drop. Like, okay, how is this guy going to turn out to be a piece of shit? Yeah. And she does a great job too. I think Catherine Keener is one of these actresses that, kind of falls by the wayside because I don't know. I don't know why. But she does a good job in this. She's one of those ones where, because I mean, she's like in her early 40s here, but she comes across as, this
Very attractive woman.
Very attractive woman, but, very bitter and cold, and it was kind of like similar to the character she played in Being John Malkovich, which kind of put her on the map a few years beforehand. I
forgot all about that movie.
Yeah. I think she does a great job in this film, and I think ultimately, that was one of the reasons she got picked for 40-Year-Old Virgin. She was kind of getting her stride there in the early 2000s. Especially after Being John Malkovich. I think she was nominated for an Oscar for that as well. So, but she'd been around for a long time. She got her start in like '85. Remember that? Oh shoot, what was that show with Pat Morita? Omaha. Remember where Pat Morita was like some goofy cop? You don't remember that?
I vaguely remember that.
I was a year old when that came out.
I never watched that show, but I remember him being in a TV series when I was a young lad.
Pat Morita is this cop, and young Catherine Keener, and young Kevin Conroy, I believe.
To totally go off topic here, the CG Pat Morita in the Cobra Kai series is shit.
They have a CG.
Fuck that.
Well, thanks for spoiling.
He was in the last season too.
No.
Stupid as fuck. Anyway, that was my rant.
Happens.
Fucking hate CG.
Yeah. Fuck CG. Fuck you, CG.
I'm trying to pull up this TV show. What the hell was it called?
The Omaha one?
Is it Omaha? Or was it O'Hara? O'Hara. I fucked it up. It's O'Hara.
You were close.
Yeah.
Yep,
bloody fucker.
There, here we go. Hold on, let me pull this up real quick.
We watch the trailer over or something? Or?
No. I'm pulling up a still real quick so you can get a look here. The cast of O'Hara. There you see a young Catherine Keener on the left.
Who's that dude in the back behind Marita? He looks familiar as fuck too.
It's not Lou Diamond Phillips. I'll tell you that much.
No. Not the guy on the left, but the guy straight back.
Yeah.
The guy with the lazy eye.
Yeah, he's been in a lot of crap. He usually, like, I don't know, like I've seen him in some shit where he has like a leather jacket and he's just like sitting at a bar chain smoking cigarettes. What the fuck was that?
It was Uncle Johnny.
Which guy?
The guy right above him, right his head.
The guy that looks like he would sit at a bar smoking cigarettes. Yeah.
That looks like he could have been in Happy Days.
I think that's John Police. I don't know. I think so. I don't know.
Me either.
Maybe not. Whatevs. But there you go. Nice little flashback to O'Hara, Omaha, whatever the fuck I'm talking about. It's 85. 85 for crying out loud.
Woo!
But yeah, man, props to Catherine Keener. She was just in the Joker movie. I remember sitting there and she came out as the attorney or whatever. And
oh yeah, that was her.
I was like, oh shit, man, because I can't remember the last time I saw her. She was in that, and she was in Get Out. That was the last time I saw her.
Oh yeah, she was in Get Out.
Yeah.
Interesting.
But she's one of those ones, that's like, she's an actress, is very attractive, middle aged, and just doesn't get the recognition because she's not the young hottie like whoever, but she does a great job in this film.
The one thing you had mentioned the Irish character Robin Williams plays. And he sets him up to take him on he thinks he's performing some kind of live show. So
for the kids.
Yeah, like he gets up there, he's playing his guitar, singing a song, fucking blinded by the spotlights, and then they're like, he's like, "Can you turn on the house lights?" And all the lights go down, the house lights come on, and he's fucking at a big ass Nazi rally.
SpaghettiOs.
Mixing movies there, Norton.
Yeah, that was a nice little callback, because of obviously, if you haven't seen American History X, Ed Norton plays a Nazi.
But the look on his face whenever the lights come on, he's just like,
yeah. And it's such a good shot.
Yeah.
Like, Smoochy. And then it's such a good shot where they do the slow motion where the camera bulbs are flashing and he's just got that look on his face like, oh my God.
Yeah.
And then you have the flag drop down in slow motion. That was a really good shot. I was just like watching that. I was like, oh, this is a good shot. But like, yeah, hilarious. And like I said, nice callback to American History X.
But that shit was fucked up.
Yeah.
The rhino's a Nazi.
Like Williams' character.
Yeah, Robin Williams like
guy.
Yeah.
Yeah, that shit was so funny. Fucking like the next scene you see him fucking dancing around like downtown in New York. And then he's like, "Hey there, little nipple biter or nipple nibbler." He's like, "The rhino's a Nazi."
So
then I was reading too, like that might have very well been the very last film to where you can see the Twin Towers in the background.
Yeah.
Oh well, I didn't think about that.
Because they went down 9 months after that scene was shot, or 5 months after that scene was shot.
It might have been even shorter, I thought, but yeah, it was very close.
That's crazy.
But that line cracked me up. "Hey there, little nipple nibbler." I'm like, what the fuck? He's just dancing around, happy as fuck because he just fucking got this dude fucked, even though he still fucked himself.
Yeah, he's just dancing around for his own amusement and then runs into the wall.
Yeah.
Very slapsticky stuff like that. And then the one scene. Oh yeah, we got to talk about this where Sheldon's doing his TV show and the magical. The bag of cookies comes down from the ceiling. It's a big production. Everybody's like, "Oh, I come down," and he pulls it out. And what is it? It's rocket ship.
That picture.
It's a cock.
Yeah, he comes walking out. He's like, "It's a cock. It's a fucking one-eyed Willie." He just fucking starts ranting off all these names. He's like, "Look, it's a penis. There's balls."
What are you, blind? It's a cock.
Kids start like chuckling.
It's cock and balls. Chorizo and the huevos, a big stiffy. Penis Maximus, a willy, a weenie. Mr. Jiggle Daddy, the one-eyed Wonder Weasel. Jimmy and the Twins, Rumple Foreskin. It's made from dildo. How can you not laugh at this stuff? Roger Ebert. What the fuck? You're dead.
He has no personality.
What the fuck?
Again, fuck that guy.
Oh, so hilarious.
When I was a kid, I read his book. He wrote a bunch of books, but there was one book in particular where every horror movie he trashed. Like, I'm just like, man, fuck this. His whole review about Friday the 13th Part 2, and him bitching about like there being nudity at the first beginning of the movie, and there's really not. And I read that and I was like, I will never. If he says he likes a movie, I won't watch it. If he says he hates it, I'm gonna love it, and that's usually how it went.
There you go.
That's how I ended up watching Ace Ventura and enjoying it, because he hated that movie.
No. That's another. It's like, oh my gosh.
So
like,
fuck him, you dead fat fuck.
Well, this film didn't do well, but like, I just saw something where Jeff Daniels was talking in an interview. He has like a whole collection of all these reviews and everything. These people were saying how they were saying Dumb and Dumber was going to be the worst film ever, and it was going to ruin his career. And he saved all the clippings, and obviously it turned out to be one of the comedy hits of all time. The biggest. And so it just goes to show that a lot of these times these guys reviewing movies, these guys that do the podcast, they don't know what the fuck they're talking about.
I remember my dad when Dumb and Dumber came out, because my last name is Daniels, and my dad goes, "Finally, we got a Daniels in a big movie, and it's this one." I brought it up to him years later. I was like, "See, look, he's still doing good. He's doing good stuff. He's doing good. There's hope for his shit, Dad."
Well, it's funny because I just watched Sonic 3 last night, and Jim Carrey plays Robotnik, and plus he plays his grandfather.
Yeah.
But his grandfather, it almost looks like it could, like with the makeup on, it almost looks like it could be Jeff Daniels underneath the makeup.
Yeah.
That's funny.
It is funny. And he almost sounds like Jeff Daniels.
I have to watch that.
But yeah, I got diverted. After the cookie scene, he gets escorted out, and they're like, security's trying to take him out. He's like, I know, I'm right over fucking Randolph. I know where the exit is, and he falls down the steps and slams into the wall. So, like I said, a lot of slapsticky humor here, and I don't mind it.
There's a lot of good stuff in this movie, honestly. A lot of good scenes.
Really
I'm drawing a blank. The boxer.
Spinner done?
Spinner? Yeah.
We have to talk about Spinner, man.
Yeah, talking about good characters. Because his whole thing is like he was hitting the head too many times. It kind of like scrambled his eggs, right? Yeah. But like such a sweetheart of a character, though. Like a good For character. Sure. I hated that his character was killed off. But
but it was so good though.
Yeah. Like
it. His whole fucking character. Even the fuck Safari Jack.
Huh? Hey,
Safari Mike.
Yeah, you guys want to have fun on the podcast? I'm Mike.
Treading.
Well, I like his mom or whatever. What was her name?
Tommy.
Or his aunt
Tommy.
or whatever.
Tommy.
Well, they say their name too. Like I think she had like a guy's name, didn't she?
Tommy.
Hello,
I
McFly.
thought you said mommy. I thought you said mommy.
Mommy.
Guy's name.
Like, what a bunch of assholes. Yes, because knowing you guys, you would say mommy.
Mommy.
You're assholes.
Oh, it's Tommy. Tommy boy.
No, but like, whenever fucking like Randolph is in the fucking house, and then she busts in his door, and she's sitting there knocking. He's like, "I'm trying to sleep, asshole. Come back and read the meter later." And they just busted, and he's just like, "What the fuck?" Like that just shows you because they're like part of the Irish mob or whatever, running a fucking restaurant.
Yep.
Yeah. Good people to have on your side, that's for sure.
Oh, 100%.
Pam Ferris.
I like
Tommy.
Loyal through and through.
I like it when they came in to get Spinner a part on the show, and Mopes was like, well, that's just, not how show business works. He tries to be all professional and sits down, and then all of a sudden, like, her goons, like, come around him, and he's like, come to think of it, there's a character that'd be really perfect for Spinner in it. And the thing is, it ends up being kind of sweet that he has him on there, and he's hitting the fucking
so out of tune.
The cowbell.
The cowbell, yeah.
Clunk, clunk.
He's like, yay, that was so good in an awkward kind of way. And then later on, his mom's like, can you take this damn bell all day long, night and day? He's just smacking the shit out of this thing. And he's like, yeah, we can find something else for him to do.
Yeah. Spinner, played by Michael Rispoli. I remember him as Grandma from Rounders, another film Ed Norton did. And he's been in a ton of stuff too. Michael Rispoli, I feel like a lot of people, it's one of those ones where you've seen him in something for sure, but you just don't remember the name for whatever reason.
What else was he in? Because that's what I was
trying to figure out what he was from.
What hasn't he been in? What hasn't he been in? He's been in, let me run down this freaking list here. 101 movies. Let me see that you might, tons of TV. But also, he was in Pain and Gain, that rock movie, and Mark Wahlberg. Let me see here. Kick-Ass, Taking of Pelham 1, 2, 3, Invincible, Weatherman, Mr. 3000, Summer of Sam, Rounders, Snake Eyes.
God damn.
And I'm skipping a bunch too.
He's got credentials.
Yeah, like I said, he's been in a ton of stuff.
Probably played a lot of goons in movies too.
The Rum Diary, yeah. It's always a supporting actor, but yeah, if Sheldon Mopes is the soul of Death to Smoochy, then Spinner is the heart. Because even there's as dark of a satire this is, there is very little slivers of heart in this film.
Yeah.
Especially when you get to the part where Spinner dies, or when Rainbow Randolph is sitting there and he's talking about killing himself because he's at the end of his rope, and he's sitting there, and all these people are watching him. He's pouring gasoline on himself, and it's a very serious moment, because up until then, everything's been comical. Even like the dark stuff is comical, but he's sitting there and he's like, I'm going to kill myself. Like there's nothing funny about it. People are just going to watch this guy commit suicide. And then when he lights the match and before he can do it, the little girl comes up and saves him, And so, like I said, there's little slivers of heart in this film. And I think the biggest part, it goes to Spinner, because like Sheldon says, you got to love him. He's such a sweetheart of a character. So Michael Rispoli knocks it out of the park in this role.
Oh yeah.
Later, Smoochy, I got a shit.
I gotta go take a dump. Or like whenever he changes over to Moochie, whenever they introduce Moochie, and he comes up and Sheldon's like, "Say hello to everybody on the TV," and he just freezes. Just a sweetheart of a character, and it sucks so bad because then you got the Parade of Hope guys, the big bads from the film that are they're out to get the money and everything like that, and they end up killing the wrong rhino. Who would have known?
You just said kill the rhino.
Yep, Harvey Fierstein plays Merv Green. He's another. He did Mrs. Doubtfire with Robin Williams. So we have another.
Oh yeah.
Independence Day. Yeah. He's the only one in this film that I feel like he's kind of miscast. I don't know. I feel like if I could have switched any actor in this film, it probably would have been him. Just because I don't know. It was weird. I don't know.
Which one? Who's this again?
The guy that runs the Parade of Hope. The Harvey Fierstein is the actor's name. He's the guy that ends up getting his head chopped off.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Merv.
Yeah,
Merv
Griffin. No.
This movie's so fucking slept on.
Got to give a shout out. Got to give a shout out. We got to talk about Danny Woodburn, who plays Angelo, one of the little people in the film. You know, there's a few different ones. The Crinkle Kids and then the Rhinettes, but he's the main one. He's the guy. If you ever watch Seinfeld, he's from that, and a bunch of other films. But he does a good job. As he's kind of like the anchor for Randolph. When Randolph's reached the end of his rope and he has nobody else he can go to, he lets him stay at his place, and then fucking Randolph just smashes his fucking TV to pieces. Like,
it was an accident.
What the fuck are you doing?
It was an accident. He's like, die, you fuck, die. And he's like, what are you doing? That thing had picture in picture. It was an accident.
You imagine that if like I was just staying over at your house and then you walk in and I'm just smashing your TV to pieces. You're like, what the fuck are you doing?
He's like, you have to get out. You've taken advantage of your welcome.
We just did Jiggle All the Way. He was in that as well. Holding up the doll. So yeah. Shout out Danny Woodburn, does a good job there. Who else? I don't want to miss anybody here. Later on we get to see Vincent Schiavelli, who plays Buggy Ding Dong, the hitman.
Oh yeah.
Who another one that worked with DeVito on Cuckoo's Nest.
Yep.
Yeah, he was Fredrickson.
He's such a good actor too. Like I always remember him from Ghost.
Yeah.
Whenever he's fucking talking shit to Patrick Swayze.
Yeah.
On the train. Like that scene there was fucking great. But he's such a I don't know, like I don't think he ever got enough recognition as an actor.
No, he
he's
should
been in
have
a
been
lot
more
of
movies.
He's been in a lot of shit, but he's always playing like a smaller role.
Well, he died 3 years after this film? So
did he?
It's been 20 years that he's been gone, I believe.
Wow. I was just gonna say not too long ago, but man.
20 years is a long time.
That is a long time.
We're old fucks.
Buckaroo Banzai. Wasn't he one of the guys in Batman Returns and the Red Triangle gang? Yeah,
he was. Yeah,
he played
the monkey.
Yeah, the monkey and the organ. Yeah,
the goatee.
But he never got enough recognition as an actor. I don't think, anyway.
No, I agree, but he's one of those that like has a certain type of face.
Yeah.
That can only play, it's like he's not, he wasn't going to play a lead romantic role, like playing scumbags and weirdos was kind of his
I always thought he kind of looked like Stephen Wright, the comedian.
Yeah, a little bit.
See, we could have got a really good horror movie with those two playing brothers. I'm just saying.
I'm saying too, yeah, for sure.
Yeah, it's true.
He could have been the other guy on the couch in Half Baked.
Right.
Yeah.
The fact that he plays the hitman in this, that they can't seem to stay awake. He's just like, I'm like, I was watching, I was like, this would be me now. This would be me, like, just a few. I'm like, no. Because I'm an old man, like after I eat a meal or anything. So I just sit there and
that's
happy nap it.
That's funny too, because like in that scene, like he's there to kill Smoochy, but then that's whenever fucking Williams had, like right before that, Williams has his breakdown, and then they save his life, and then he has that little moment of clarity, and then he tries to help out, so he's actually the one responsible for Smoochy not getting taken out.
Right there behind you.
Yeah.
This is it's weird how these scenes and these stills end up like almost on cue.
Right.
AI.
It knows. Yeah, Dave Vito's like, you're trying to kill me with the gun that I gave you?
Yeah.
He's like, thinking about guns, you got to cock them first. That whole scene's fucking great.
No, it really is a good movie. Really underrated. And I wish, it sucks that I at the time, I didn't really give movies a second watch if I didn't really care for them. And if I did, it was like not for years and years and years. So I'm glad that I had a reason to need to rewatch this again, because I really did have a good time watching this one. And yeah,
See, this is what we're trying to get you to do, Chuck, is go back and revisit stuff you haven't watched in forever, because we know you love horror movies. We all do.
Yeah.
But not everyone does. But it's just fun whenever we go back and do a film like this, and then you rewatch it, and you're like, "Fuck yeah!" Like, to me, that's worth doing the off the wall film and listening to you kind of whine for a minute, and because it's very seldom that we do a movie and you're like, I don't want to do this, then you do it and you're like, it's pretty fucking good. Like,
yeah, there's been a few movies that I've been like, I really, but I try to have an open mind, try my best. Not everything's good, not everything's great, but I'll do it.
That's one of the benefits of the podcast. It's like I get to go back and see films that I may not have seen in a long time. Right. And like you said, I might have a renewed opinion of it. Like, oh, I thought that was shit, and now I think it's a lot better than what I thought. Or some films don't hold up, and I go back and I'm like, oh, not as good as I remember it.
We're constantly growing.
Yeah, it's a fun dichotomy where films from 20 or 30 years ago we're revisiting and seeing how we still feel about them. So it's fun, a lot of fun.
I agree.
Definitely.
Crazy journey we've been on.
Yeah, man. I complain a lot, and I admit my issues. Actually, frankly, I'm a bitch when it comes down to sometimes not getting my way. And I can admit these things. I can admit these things, and I'm trying to do better. So, yeah, I try not to complain as much as maybe I was before.
Wait till you see what we got in store for you next month.
Oh, I can't wait. Let's call it progression. What the fuck do you have in store for next week?
No, next month.
Next week. Next month.
Oh, next month.
I already got my pick figured out for next month.
He's way ahead of the game.
Gotta be.
Excellent.
Man, there's a look of concern in that boy's eyes.
So many memorable scenes in this film, and I feel like there's a lot of quotables. There's so many that I'm not gonna.
That's why I had to write some down, because there's just so many.
Yeah. Well, we were just talking about where Randolph has his kind of like breakdown. He comes into the penthouse with the gun and everything, and they have the big standoff or whatever, and then they eventually get the gun from him, and he's standing there talking about. He's like, "Oh, this used to be my place. It used to be nice, and I used to have a portrait of a naked woman. Tasteful, no bush." And not your fucking mother, and has a picture of a rhinoceros on the wall.
Fun fact is Norton kept that picture from the set, and it's still in his fucking house.
That's cool.
That's funny.
I would do the same thing.
Right? I'd be snatching all kinds of stuff from set.
Oh, yeah.
But it's just another hilarious one. And probably my favorite scene in this whole film, at least stands out to me, is the one we played at the beginning where he's leaving the police station. Robin Williams is. And all the media is there, and they're asking him questions, and it's a big mob scene. And they're like, how do you feel about being voted the worst man in America? And he's like, in a country full of Neanderthals, I wear it as a fucking badge of honor. Like, Nora Wells says you have an unhealthy obsession with Sheldon Mopes. He's like, I barely know the bitch. And then somebody else is like, what are these rumors about you being mentally unstable? Or, he's like, who the fuck said that? And he like freaks out and starts choking the guy.
I like that.
Then he's also like, she's gone down on more guys in the Titanic.
Yeah, she's been down on everything but the Titanic. And then somebody throws an egg at him and hits him in the head.
Salmonella.
And he's like, I've been shot. Oh my God. And he's like, Salmonella, you're a lawyer. And he's like, and then he just keeps saying, somebody grab my ass. Oh my God. I saw every time I watch that scene, even now, that cracks me up so hard. So that's definitely my favorite scene out of the whole film, I think.
I like it when Rudolph or whatever his name is.
Randolph.
Randolph. Sorry.
It's Randolph, not Wandolph.
Whatever. Robin Williams. When he at the end of it, he's saving dude from being shot.
Yeah.
And he gets up and the cop's like, "Are you okay?" And he goes, I'm kind of fucked up. I'm just naturally kind of fucked up all around or something. So like, he says something right there. I can't think of it now, but I thought it was fucking funny.
I'm kind of fucked up in general, so it's hard to gauge.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah. And I was like, exactly. I was like, man, that is statement of the year.
Yeah. That's another good one.
Such a good film, man. Like hopefully people see this and then they give the urge to kind of give it a try and then they like it.
Oh, man, so underrated. Like, I don't think I can say anything bad about it. You know?
No, not really. No. Usually, I have other ideas of like, well, it'd be better if this person played this person, blah blah blah. But I think everybody, killed it, and it's a good movie.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, you really can't do much better than what they gave you. I don't think.
I agree.
Even the way everything's shot, like DeVito did a fucking phenomenal job. Like, it just looks great through and through.
Well, DeVito does a really good job of playing a shady character.
Always.
Yeah.
I mean, that's
Fucking Frank
very
Reynolds.
rare when he isn't.
Fucking love DeVito. We just did a DeVito movie, like 3 weeks ago? Fucking twins?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's how this came about, because it popped in my head,
Right.
When I think of DeVito stuff, this is definitely like in the top 5 for me anyway.
Next week, we're doing Matilda. I'm just kidding.
Oh.
Have fun with that.
Whose turn is it next week?
Me and Dave.
Those guys.
Okay.
Speaking of, you didn't even say.
Oh,
What
yeah,
happened to
Dave's
Wade?
not here, man. Dave had to go return some videotapes. I meant to say that at the beginning of the show, but I totally forgot.
To a different store?
Well, yeah, we work at a shitty video store.
Wow.
He wanted to go rent a good movie.
Friends come in all sizes.
Mike's gonna be fucking jamming. The next fucking road trip we go on, guaranteed, we're listening to fucking Smoochy fucking
Soundtrack now.
songs.
Yep. And we're gonna have soy hot dogs and
Oh no.
Oh, God.
Oh, yeah.
Salatina and almond butter.
Yeah, you need to start eating healthier. All right.
This
Yeah, I
has
would
way more protein than those other hot dogs. Fucking
Ugh.
gross.
Could you imagine the gas you'd have after eating something like that?
No.
Ugh, no.
Jacked up like a prom dress in June.
Ridiculous.
I'm about to watch this movie more often. This
Right.
shit's too good. Like I remember me and my buddy Mac from back in the day. We used to always talk about this movie, and then we used to always talk about Stewart Saves His Family. Like they were like two of the movies that him and I always quoted at school. Fucking love Stewart Saves His Family. Fucking off Franken. Great.
Oh shit! Whenever he's in the car, it just popped in my head. Whenever Randolph's driving Sheldon to the rally, and he's trying to talk, he's trying to get Sheldon to talk shit about Randolph, and he's like, "Oh, he's a pillow biter," and Sheldon's like, "I wouldn't know anything about his sleeping disorders."
He's just being as
Oh,
nice
man.
as can be.
Yeah.
But he's
Oh,
just a
man.
wholesome kid, you know what I mean? Like, then he's like, I actually thought he was on the up and up, and he's like, oh, he's a piece of shit.
And you can tell for a second, like when he's kind of taken back by him, like standing up for him a little bit. And he's like,
Right.
no, I have to not like you. You're not helping this.
He's like, this is going the wrong way.
Or like whenever he finally snaps, all the
Oh,
things
yeah.
he's got through everything, and then you get to the end, and he's got the gun, and he's like, you fuck with the wrong rhino, he gets
Yeah.
to that breaking point, and then Tommy and those guys show up, and they say, hey, don't lose yourself, don't let these guys make you forget who you are, don't come down to their level, but he's just been through so much, and especially with Spinner, and getting killed, that was kind of the last straw for everybody. So
Yeah.
it was like let's end this right here. But like, what do they say? They said we're gonna find him, cut off his balls, and shove it up his ass. And Sheldon's like, well, maybe we should leave that for the cops, Tommy. And they're like, cops won't do the ball thing; it's against procedure.
You let us handle him. We won't do anything extreme. Okay, thank you.
Yeah, whenever they're talking about what they did to Merv, cutting off his fucking head with the axe.
Shit's so good, man. Shit's always fun going back and watching some shit that I haven't seen in forever.
Catherine Keener's a kid show host groupie.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She's like, I had a problem.
Wally the whale? How could you even? There she blows. Oh man, so many good things. We could just sit here and rattle off the entire film because it's so quotable. It's so much fun. And like I said,
I was writing down the quotes just trying to remember some of them, and I was like, "There's too fucking many."
Yeah,
I'm like, I'm gonna get a fucking carpal tunnel.
Yeah, because practically every scene there's great dialogue.
Yeah.
So that's a testament to Adam Resnick. I'm not a fan of Cabin Boy, but I'm a fan of Death to Smoochy. So
Yeah, Cabin Boy was ass. Death to Smoochy.
They can't all be winners, but no
they can't.
Yeah,
No Captain Ron.
No, definitely
Want to
not.
buy a monkey?
But no, like we said, super underrated film. If you've never seen this film and you're watching this, what the fuck are you watching us for? But no, go and watch Death to Smoochy. If you haven't seen it in a long time, revisit it. I think you'll have a lot of fun with it. Especially getting to see, we talked about seeing Robin Williams again. That always kind of, if you're a fan of Robin Williams, that kind of tugs at your heartstrings, and you miss the guy. And he does such a over the top, ridiculous performance in this, and you can't help but smile. And Ed Norton, he's never had a role like this before or since, and it's just a different Ed Norton, and he knocks it out of the park. Everybody does a great job in this film, and I can't say enough good things. And like I said, one of the most underrated films that I can think of. So
I agree. It definitely doesn't get as much love as it should receive.
True that.
Yeah, for shizzle. So that seems like we got this movie all wrapped up with Death to Smoochy. So as usual, we shall see what we got stored up.
it's time. It's time for the random clip of the week.
You said it, Buster.
Rue those chicks, man. You know what we ought to do? We ought to go into town and get us a couple hookers, huh? I know just a hooker, too. Her name's Carl. She's beautiful, man. I'm driving.
I love this movie.
Let's go. Come on! Going to find Carl. Going to find Carl. I really shouldn't be driving. My license was revoked.
God, I hate that guy.
For what?
Really, I love this movie, though.
Attempted vehicular manslaughter.
That's good.
Whatever the fuck that means.
That means.
God. Wasn't that was like MTV's first like official MTV movie or some shit.
Oh yeah, that movie fucking cracks me up. Man.
Yeah, it's not a bad movie. I hate
can't tell you how many times I've seen that shit.
Oh,
I
Mark
got some
Paul
beers.
Gosselaar
Let's
and that
drink
guy
them.
from Mark Paul Gosselaar and that dude from Werewolf in London.
Yeah.
Yep.
Such a good movie. I forgot about that shit too. That's a sleeper movie.
Good old Zach Morris.
Oh yeah.
Fucking they like sitting there and he wakes up and the Hispanic movers are taking bong rips, and then fucking Zach walks in and he's like, "You guys are doing bong rips again? Man, that's classic."
Zach Attack.
The soundtrack, yeah.
Zach Attack.
The soundtrack wasn't too bad if I remember correctly.
No. And then it had the band chick from fucking American Pie in it.
The band chick.
Forever. I've got it on VHS actually.
Allison Hannigan.
Yeah, that dude in that video I always forget his name too, but he ends up catching her hair on fire trying to light her bong for her.
What was this? What was the big song that came off that? There was. Cause I remember there was a music video going on all over the place from that soundtrack. I can't remember what it was.
I don't remember. Been a long
time.
There's a lot of those kind of movies that came out back then.
What?
So there was a lot of those kind of movies that came out back then. I think that's whenever like How High came out.
Yeah.
And like Sorority Boys. Like all those fucking goofy ass movies.
1998.
I was still in high school.
Me too.
I was a junior. Mike
Babies.
was graduating.
I was a
Babies.
freshman for the first or second time.
I was already graduated. I was on my way to college.
Must be nice.
DeVry, here I come.
That's right.
All right. Before we get out of here, we're going to throw up our advertisements.
Oh.
See what kind of action
gang
we got going on.
What are we going to throw up?
Hey everybody, Laser Trading Company is on YouTube. See some of the videos from Mike's travels and experiences. If you haven't already, please head over and subscribe. 7,800 and growing. Thank you all. Laser Trading Company is also available on eBay with various merchandise and collectibles. Hundreds of great gift ideas. That's Laser Trading Company. Laser Trading Company. Laser Trading Company. You know him from Bastard Sons of a Judas Goat, Nasty Nation, Graveyard Talk, and the Video Store Clerks Podcast. He is the creator of Stoner Gore, Jack Nasty! And if you're looking for the latest in extreme horror, head over to Amazon.com, look up Chuck Nasty, and the following titles are available. Along with the latest album, Decay of Man, from Bastard Sons of a Judas Goat, available on Spotify, Apple Music, and YouTube now.
And Chuck, you said you also had a new
Yeah.
product coming out soon?
On February 28th, on Godless, the rocking chair, my novella, will be on Godless on there, and then we'll be out on Amazon for paperback shortly after sometime. And also, I just sent my other release that's going to be coming out. It's a collection of stories, and I just sent it to the publisher for the final edits for it to be out soon too. So, yeah.
Oh yeah.
Grinding.
You heard it first here. Get the Chuck Nasty books. They're all over the Amazon.
Hell yeah. Read it.
Smoochy's Jungle with whatever Safari.
Buy the Chuck Nasty book.
Buy the book.
Please.
All right. So as we've been doing, we've been kind of just going around doing a dealer's choice pick of the month.
That's right.
Here and there. This week, next
Give
week.
it to us. Give it to us. What's up?
Me and Dave.
What do you got?
1985 classic Weird Science.
Plastic tubes and
Let's get our Bill Paxton on.
Shit.
Big up to Pax.
Big ups. Big ups to Paxton. Big ups to Williams.
Weird Science. No, that's just going to be in my head.
Wow. Yeah.
So next week, join us live
Kelly.
at 10 p.m.
Kelly LeBrock.
We talk about Weird Science, man. She went downhill. But anyway.
At least we got Weird Science. 40 years. 40 years of Weird Science.
40-year anniversary.
Wow. We are
Actually
OAF.
in August, but
Close enough, you know.
I know Dave has mentioned doing this film for the last few years. We've been doing this. I believe we're coming up on our technically we're already at our 4-year anniversary, but going live, doing the live streams video, it'll be I believe the third week in March. The second or third week in March, whenever we actually did our first live broadcast for 4 years ago.
We're at episode 146. We got 150 coming up soon. We got something special
coming up soon, and we got a plan for that one.
Oh,
We do?
yeah. So we do. Don't worry.
Do I know about this?
No, you haven't been included. You're out of the loop.
You've been told, but I believe it was the week before last. And by the end of the show, I don't think you remember.
4 more episodes, and they're gonna find out what we got for them. Weird Science next week. I'm going on safari, motherfucker.
But hopefully by next week we got Dave back in the room.
Get back here, Dave.
This was basically one of his ideas. So I mean, he's got to be here, or else it's going to be goofy.
Quit fucking around, Dave, and get back to the store.
So say your prayers and eat your vitamins, Dave. See you next week.
That's right.
And the rest of you guys, we will see you next Tuesday at
Peace out. Watch out the videos for podcast. Yeah. Oh, we the videos.